Nestled between Nottingham and Derby sits the town of Long Eaton. Transformed in the 19th century by the arrival of the Midland Railway, which helped establish Long Eaton as an important industrial hub, the town's streets still reflect this heritage with a blend of Victorian and early 20th century architecture. And Martel stopped by to check out an auction lot.
And I'm here to see a 3-bed mid-terrace, which came with a guide price of £60,000. Now, here it is. First up, I notice you've got an alleyway to the side, which is great news in terms of access. I also love the red bricks, quite handsome, looks relatively newly done. I can say the same for the windows, good condition, and the door looks pretty good too. That's quite a promising start. Let's go look. Inside. And straight into quite a small but well-proportioned reception room. But as I look around, you've got damp patches in many places. And as I look up, someone's attempted to patch up. Well, that's the question. What are they patching up with? More wallpaper? This could be an example where you've got to be prepared to go back to brick. Then, through to a second living area. Oh, more damp. You've got some patches of damp, which are grey and mouldy, not ideal, so you really want to look into that. Before we come into the kitchen, I want to show you this. So, you're going to disappear for a minute. OK, that's your door. On the other side of that door, when it's opened like this, come with me. Yeah, I disappear, don't I? And up there are the stairs. So imagine I'm just running down and boom, there goes your partner and the cup of tea is carrying for you. It's just not very nice, and I think there could be a better way to, well, just to improve your layout. OK, into the kitchen. It's a galley-style kitchen, so relatively narrow. You do have enough room for units on both sides, though this bit here is quite narrow. You know, I do love an upcycle. Could you keep the surfaces? You probably could here. It might be time for new units and handles, but these tiles, fresh and white, nothing wrong with them. Once they're cleaned, they could work a treat. Then back we come to your bathroom, and it's small, but the use of space is really well used because here you have a roller door. And if you think about it, a door couldn't really open that way or in the way, there's just not the room for it. You have your toilet, you have the bath with a shower over it. You could think about getting rid of it and extending your kitchen if there's a way of putting the bathroom upstairs. But as it is, well, it just is what it is.
Well, its future really depends on what space there is upstairs. So go on, Martel, check it out.
To the stairs. The stairway itself is pretty dark. There's not a lot of natural light getting to it. And it's also very much sloping, so it's much higher on this side than it is on this side. Which brings me to, what is this? Well, the plasterwork has just crumbled away. There's not a great deal under a lot of the wallpaper. And what's that? Somebody's patched it up with, wait for it, a cereal pack. Yes, a cereal pack. Not ideal. Then, through to the first of your bedrooms, which is quite bijou. It could be cosy. The proportions work quite nicely. And I love this original cast iron fireplace. That's lovely. Please keep that. Not so much of a fan of, look at this. Look at this cupboard space. Nobody hung a door like this intentionally. You can see that it's hard to shut because the frames have just, well, they've slid down. And when I come to the other side, it's exactly the same there. And then I look at the floor and it's completely sloping down the way here. I look up and I think, well, I think I've got a sinking feeling. You need to consult a structural engineer. Okay, to our In fact, hold that thought. I've just walked through a doorway and I can tell this is where an original door would have hung. You can even see the hinge mark still there. So you would have walked into, I'd guess, your next room, but instead you have a corridor, and what's been put up is a partition wall, and actually it feels quite makeshift. This too is a partition wall. So you have a decent-sized bedroom here, but I do wonder what's on the other side. OK. Well, what you have on the other side is quite a dingy corridor. It'd be nice to create some natural light, perhaps with windows right at the top, or just improve your lighting somehow. And then, really, this is the third bedroom. Could you even get a single bed in here? It's extremely narrow. I would say that this is more fitting to be the size of a bathroom if you were bringing your bathroom up here, but then you'd be losing one potential bedroom. You have options, but for sure you could do better here.
It's true, 'cause I can do better. Yeah, I can do better.
Out the back, there's a good-sized garden. It's just crying out for a bit of attention. Thankfully, looking back at the house and up at the roof, it's clear it's in good condition and it looks brand new. With evidence of possible structural issues inside, you're not going to know the extent of the work needed here without a report from a structural engineer. So, what does a local estate agent make of the potential on offer, and does he think this 3-bed mid-terrace guided at £60,000 is a sensible investment?
The property is in need of a full renovation. I would certainly recommend new kitchen, new bathroom, possibly removing some walls. So I would knock through the walls under the staircase, even take the wall out between both reception rooms to make the house feel as big as possible. Upstairs, a plasterboard wall has been built for reasons I can't understand. They built a third bedroom in there, which I would remove. You can't class it as a bedroom. It is 2 bedrooms with an extra space, which is why I've knocked the walls through. It doesn't make any sense keeping it there.
Well, I think we're all in agreement with that, but what are his thoughts when it comes to the property's structure?
There are a few concerns throughout, particularly the staircase, which is leaning from left to right a little bit. Some of the frameworks and the walls and the door frames, they don't seem to make much sense. I would have a full survey on this to investigate exactly what's going on.
And upon completion, what could the returns be?
Once renovated to a high standard as a 2-bedroom property, I would recommend an asking price between £150,000 to £160,000. As a rental property, I would recommend this property is rented for between £700 a month and £750 per calendar month.
I grant you, this property is not without its issues. The layout could be better. It's damp and also there's possible subsidence. But it's also got a lot going for it, not least a new roof, new windows, some new doors. It could be a wonderful home. Let's find out who agreed when it went to auction.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
Sold.
The winning bid of £98,000 came from local couple Richard and Callie. Neither are strangers to renovating properties, and Martel met them to hear their plans.
Callie, Richard, pleased to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell me about you two. What's your history? What's your background?
So we've been together 13 years. I think we'd like to move more towards property development, wouldn't we?
Yeah.
This is your, what, 5th house, maybe? 6th house? And it's my 3rd.
And this is the first one on our own as well, just as a 2, 'cause I had a friend that I was doing it with previously, so this is the first one for just us 2.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what's it for? Is it to rent out or sell on?
This one will just be to do up and sell. This is quicker money to make rather than rentals, isn't it? So, and it's close to home, so it's just, we'll just see how this one goes and then we'll go from there, I think.
OK. Where do you both live?
We're about 100 houses away.
Literally on this road, yeah.
Well, that's great because you know the area. So what's your background apart from property?
So we're both civil servants, aren't we? Both managers in a civil service. So that's quite a busy job, but it's nice to do something that is public service. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do this sort of stuff anyway. Like, I grew up sort of in builders' yards and things like that, and air conditioning, and then got into an office job. So this is sort of my passion. This is what I want to get back to doing, so... Yeah, hopefully it goes well.
So was there somebody in your family that was in the building trade and it sounds like you were young when you were observing?
Yeah, no, I'm just a handy one of the family. They're all the brains, I'm just the handiness.
I think your dad's probably inspired you, though.
Yeah, he used to buy and sell houses, so that's what got me into sort of houses, but he would obviously just normally employ people to come and do the work, so I'm just going to try and do it myself, save us some money as well.
So talk me through your to-do list. What are you going to do? What are you going to do yourself? What are you going to get other people in to do? Tell me everything.
I think for myself, first off, I've just got to strip it back. In certain areas, there's some subsidence, well, possible subsidence of what the document said, but that all just needs investigating. I'm going to change it back to a 2-bed because it's currently a 3 with a very strange 3rd bedroom. Get the bathroom back upstairs, extend that kitchen back out to where it was, and then just sort of, yeah.
Maybe leave
investigate
a
this
toilet downstairs.
Yeah, someone said it'd be nice to have a little toilet downstairs, but I don't know whether... I don't know how keen I am with it being on the back end of a kitchen, but...
The couple plan to landscape the garden but keep it low maintenance. Richard will take on most of the work himself while bringing in trades where needed, while Callie will handle the paperwork, and she's also keeping a close eye on how much Richard spends.
What's your budget here?
It's always difficult to say, because I think I don't know what I'm going to get myself into with stripping everything back, but my initial thought was if I'm not sort of taking a wage or anything, between 10 and 15,000, depending on sort of how bad things are. And if it has to go any further than that, it will do, but it'll just eat into profit.
And what is your timescale here? How long is this going to take?
I think I'm going to give myself, I want to say 6 months, just because I don't know how it's going to go with my job and sort of trying to squeeze this in on the side. So I want to say 6 months. If it's quicker, that's great. But yeah, there's no sort of strict timeline as much as this. It's just, we'll just see what happens.
Good. Well, it sounds like you're very busy and it's great that you're so nearby, that you're going to do a great job. I just can't wait to see the finished results. Good luck.
Thank you.
Could you not tell, too, that Richard was just so eager to get started? And by doing so much and getting his sleeves rolled up, he'll be able to keep costs down. But I reckon in this working relationship, Callie is just as important and she'll be overseeing everything. I think they're going to do a splendid job. You can find out how they get on later in the show.
We're heading back to Long Eaton near Nottingham, where Martel found a 3-bed mid-terrace guided at £60,000 that had a few flaws.
So imagine I'm just running down and boom. There could be a better way to, well, just to improve your layout.
It was a similar story upstairs with a tiny 3rd bedroom. Damp issues and possible structural concerns made this a brave buy, but Richard and Callie paid £98,000 and took it on alongside their full-time jobs in the civil service.
This is your, what, 5th house? And it's my 3rd.
So this is the first one for just us two.
Together we love.
With up to £15,000 to spend, the plan was to modernise throughout, turn it back into a 2-bed and move the bathroom upstairs. 6 months was the aim, but a year on, we're back. It's clear to see that this is now an inviting home, transformed by Richard, who's done nearly all the work himself in a full back-to-brick renovation. New features have been uncovered, the flow improved, and a wall removed to open up the staircase, and that awkward door is gone. Richard had to take them out, repair them and reinstall them.
Your reports are the quietest stairs ever. You're very proud of the stairs, I think.
Oh, definitely.
The kitchen has been improved and made bigger. They removed the downstairs bathroom to add more space, and they were able to reuse most of the old units, saving them from landfill. And there was more good news when it came to the damp, which turned out to be a straightforward repair.
I think it was a mix of 2 layers of plasterboard and 2 layers of skirting in most rooms. But obviously got all that back to brick, everything was able to breathe, and then re-dot and dabbed everything, and no damps come back, so that's all good. Outside was just pressure washing, like the existing concrete, and then new turf put down in the back garden.
Back inside, with the downstairs bathroom removed, it's been relocated upstairs, replacing what was once a tiny third bedroom and working far better as a bathroom.
We were debating whether to have a 3-bedroom house with 3 tiny bedrooms, but we thought it would be better as 2 decent-sized bedrooms and a bigger kitchen.
The couple opted for a 2-bedroom layout, and up here the cast-iron fireplaces have remained, while downstairs the hidden ones have been revealed.
The fireplaces have been a talking point for a few friends, and Callie, I don't think you're the biggest fan of them, but I uncovered it and I really like it. I think it's kind of new meets old in a few of the rooms, so I'm sticking with it.
And then came the best find of all. Structural engineers confirmed there was no subsidence, with any movement simply historic. 13 years together have given the couple a solid foundation, but balancing full-time jobs, doing the work themselves and slipping timescales has made their first property project together a real challenge.
Quite stressful.
Testing, yeah, definitely testing.
Yeah.
It was difficult to communicate sometimes.
I think it's the time element for a start. You know, we've got full-time jobs and then we're trying to fit in this, well, to us, a big project as well. Yeah, we have had to make more conscious decisions around our social life, I would say, and thinking, right, come on, we need to have a free weekend here. Like, we can't just go and do what we want to do. We still do the things we want to do, but we've had to be a bit more mindful, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely.
Although doing the work themselves has been difficult and meant some sacrifices, it does mean there is good news when it comes to their £10,000 to £15,000 budget.
So, unless my calculations are massively wrong, which I don't think they are, we are in, material-wise, £4,000. We don't know whether to sell or rent, but I think we're looking at both avenues at the moment, just to see what's best, really.
The couple had extra costs like council tax and utility bills, bringing their total spend on the work to around £6,500. Impressive, and suggesting healthy returns no matter what route they choose. So let's hear the thoughts of a local estate agent. We invited back the agent who saw it last time to see what they make of this now modern 2-bed mid-terrace.
I'm impressed with the use of the smaller space upstairs, which has now been turned into a bathroom. It was the ideal spot for the bathroom to move from downstairs to upstairs. The standard finish is to a very good level. I certainly think it would appeal to most people on the marketplace looking for a home to buy.
So, starting with the rental potential, what sort of income does the agent think the house could generate?
Based on the standard of the property, I'd recommend a rental value between £750 and £775 per calendar month.
Not too far off what I was maybe thinking, yeah.
That would be an annual pre-tax income of £9,300, a yield of nearly 9%. But after spending a total of £104,500, including the original purchase, how much does the agent think it could sell for on the open market?
I think the property is worth in the current market between £140,000 and £150,000.
We're happy for around 140, 150.
We'd be happy with we'd be very happy with 150, I think. 140 is still happy, but yeah.
Taking the agent's top figure, that could see them pocket a pre-tax profit of £45,500, a strong return, alongside a healthy rental yield too. They'll need to weigh up their options, but the hard work and stress looks to have paid off. So are Richard and Callie ready for the second project together?
We've had a big chat, haven't we? And we've decided that potentially for now, have a break, and then maybe we'd probably go again, we said.
Yeah, have a year to chill out and then look at investing or something along property again. Definitely.